with a long entrance opened to the light across the whole width of the cave. In this they have been from childhood, not birth, childhood, with necks and legs fettered, so they have to stay where they are. Unenlightened, stay where they are. Fettered from what? From childhood, not from birth, childhood. That must be something we've learned. And so he then describes what I wrote here on the board very crudely. At the end of this one page, he then adds, now consider what their release would be like from these fetters. Now consider what their release would be like and their cure from these fetters and their folly. Let us imagine whether it might naturally be something like this. One might be released, compelled suddenly to stand up, to turn his neck around, to walk and to look towards the firelight. All this would hurt him, and would be too much dazzled to see distinctly those things whose shadows he had seen before. What do you think he would say if someone told him that what he saw before was foolery? But now he saw rightly, being a bit nearer to reality, and turned towards what was a little more real. What if he were shown each of the passing things and compelled by questions to answer what each one was? Do you think he would be puzzled to believe what he saw before was more true than what was shown to him now? That's the drama. That's the drama. You must have a drama to get an allegory. Therefore, we have the analogy with its expanded terms. Now, right, what would happen if one of these men were suddenly released from his chains and forced to stand up and to turn around, and by questions being asked about the nature of what it is that he formerly took to be real? Now we're going to follow him. What he's going to go through are going to be the stages and the processes. Therefore, we can watch the language and we can see how it develops. And when we do that, then we're getting into the allegory and seeing how he's using it. Now, I have to remember which book I was in. Okay, I think this one. I'll use this one. I know where this one is. I got this book originally when they were selling paperbacks for 75 cents. All right, we're going through now the effect it has on him. We first talked about how hurt and puzzled he was, how then he's compelled to face the things that before he took to be real. Right? Now the next step. He must be compelled to look towards the real light. It would hurt his eyes, and he would escape by turning them away to the things he was able to look at. And these he would believe to be clearer than what is being shown to him. Suppose now that someone would drag him hence by force up the rough ascent, the steep way up, never to stop until he could drag him out into the light of the sun. Would he not be distressed and furious at being dragged? And when he came into the light, the brilliance would fill his eyes, and he would not be able to see even one of the things now called real. That's right. Next stage. Has to get used to it. Has to get used to this. No way out. No way out. Have to get used to it. He would have to get used to it, surely, I think, if he is to see the things above. Has to get used to the fact that this is what it's like. It's not a picnic. It challenges the very existence of a person and their whole view of the nature of ultimate reality. Therefore, first, he would most easily look at the shadows. See, now we're going through the allegory. After that, the images of mankind. Hey, what objects are being carried on his head happens to be images of mankind. Look here. First, he would most easily look at shadows. After that, the images of mankind. And the rest in water. And lastly, the things in themselves. 4 stages. 1, 2, 3, 4. How interesting. Huh. Okay, after this, he would find it easier now, right, to survey by night the heavens themselves and all that is in them, gazing at the light of the stars, the moon, rather than by day the sun and the sun's light. Lastly, last of all, I suppose the sun. He would look at the sun itself, by itself in its own place, and see what it's like. Not reflections of it in water as it appears in some alien setting. Now what? Now he reasons. Now he can reason. It's only now that he can truly reason, because he has the experience upon which to reason. Look at the way he builds this, you see. And only after all this, he might reason about it. How this is he who provides seasons and years, and is set over all there is in the visible region, and he is in a manner the cause of all the things which they saw. So then lastly, he can then reason about it. Now, he's out, reasoning about it, all of his experience, successful, next stage. There's a problem. Some people want to stay. They want to stay in the upper world. They want to stay there. And the nature of reality is overwhelmingly interesting, profound. Be efficient. It's an openness, a joy. They want to stay there. That becomes a problem. Then let him be reminded of his first habitation and what was wisdom in that place. And let him be reminded of his fellow prisoners there. Don't you think he'd bless himself for the change and pity them? He says, yeah, that's right. Yeah. And he talks about what it's like to live in the cave. And now we get, you see, a description of what's this like.